Welcome to the Soccer Tavern, where we're discussing the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. My name is Dave, and in this video, we're talking about the history of Swansea City A.F.C, which stands for Association Football Club. Pull up a seat, and let's start the discussion. Swansea City A.F.C is located in the northern part of the city of Swansea. Swansea is located along the southern coast of Wales in the United Kingdom. The club currently plays in the Premier League, and its home ground is called the Liberty Stadium, which opened in 2005 and holds about 21,000 people. Due to rugby's overwhelming popularity in the surrounding area, soccer got started late in the town of Swansea relative to the rest of Britain. Kids and some amateur adult squads played in local leagues in the 1890s and early 1900s, but none of them really lasted. There was, however, growing momentum for the sport as a local Swansea league had about 2,500 registered players in 1911. On January 21, 1912, Harry Bradshaw, a former successful manager in England and newly appointed secretary of the Southern League, met with local citizens of Swansea to encourage the formation of a professional club in Wales's second largest town. The townspeople responded, and J.W. Thorpe organized a meeting on June 14, 1912, at the Royal Hotel in Swansea. At that meeting, the club of Swansea Town Association Football Club was officially formed. Thorpe was appointed the club's first chairman. Due to rugby's prevalence in the area, the club used Association Football Club, or AFC, rather than the more prevalent in England naming convention of Football Club, or FC. It wasn't until 1971, when the town of Swansea was granted city status, that the club changed its name to Swansea City A.F.C. The club has two nicknames, the Swans and the Jacks. The Swans nickname is rather clear as it comes from the club and city's name. It's the officially recognized nickname for the club. Another nickname for the club and people from Swansea are Swansea Jacks, or simply just Jacks. There's two possible explanations for this nickname. The first is that in the early 19th century, sailors from Swansea were renowned for their hard work and skills on the open seas. They wore clothes that were jack-tarred in order to protect them from the harsh elements of being on the open sea. They were known as Swansea Jacks, and this is likely the explanation for the nickname. Now, the second explanation, and my personal favorite, is that a black Labrador retriever was born in 1930 and named Jack. He lived with his owner near the sea and was reported to have saved 27 people from drowning during his life. Jack would jump into the water when people cried for help and drag them to safety on land. In all likelihood, the Jack Tar Pants explanation is likely accurate for where the nickname comes from, but the Black Lab story is an awesome anecdote that I just needed to share. Like most other clubs, Swansea used their town's coat of arms to represent the club as its first crest. By the 1980s, the club implemented a crest with a swan on top of a castle. The swan obviously represented the club and its nickname, and the castle represented the castle of Henry de Beaumont, which was built in 1099. This castle was the focal point around which the town of Swansea was built. Versions of this crest were used until 1998, when the club unveiled the sleek, modern, and elegant swan crest used by the club today. Swansea experimented with different colors and incorporated a circle to enclose the crest, but have thankfully settled back on this simple black and white crest. Now let's discuss four important events in the club's history. On May 2, 1981, Swansea traveled to Preston North End for the final league match of the season, knowing that a win would grant Swansea promotion to the First Division for the first time in the club's history. 10,000 Swansea supporters made the journey to the northwest of England to watch the match. Swansea took a 2-0 lead into halftime, but Preston got a goal in the 78th minute to make things a bit nervy. Thankfully, an 87th minute goal for Swansea sealed the victory and sent the traveling Swansea fans into pandemonium. The victory secured a miraculous third promotion in 4 seasons for the club, qualifying it for the top flight for the first time in its history. Only a few years later, Swansea suffered consecutive relegations, and on December 20th, 1985, the club was given a winding up order, basically the start of bankruptcy. Fortunately, a group of directors was able to rescue the club, and by January 1986, the club was allowed to continue with the winding up order rescinded. These directors saved the club from possible extinction. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only time the club was saved from financial trouble, but we'll talk about that in our next section. Our third event I want to highlight here comes from the 2002-2003 season. The club was in danger of being relegated out of the Football League, meaning it would become semi-professional. On May 3rd, 2003, which was the final day of the season, Swansea beat Hull City 4-2 to secure safety by only 1 point. Hull took a first half lead in the match, but the Swans leveled by halftime and scored a couple more goals in the second half to remain in the Football League and begin their rise up the English soccer pyramid. And our last event for this section happened on February 24th, 2013. Swansea City played Bradford City in the League Cup final at Wembley. Swansea absolutely demolished the Cinderella story Bradford City squad as the Swans were up 2-0 at halftime before adding 3 second-half goals. It is Swansea's only major trophy in the 100-plus year history of the club and a truly special day for the club and its fans. You really can't talk about Swansea supporters without talking about the Swansea City Supporters Trust. The Swansea City Supporters Trust was formed in the summer of 2001 by supporters of the club in response to the club's precarious financial position at that time. The club went through a terrible ownership situation before a local ownership group took control of the club in January 2002. As a result of the takeover, the Swansea City Supporters Trust took a 20% stake in the club and held a seat on the board of directors. This ownership structure still remains, with Swansea fans owning 21% of the club through this trust in one of the more unique ownership structures in the Premier League. Gylfi Sigurdsson is one of the most talented players in Swansea history. He made 131 appearances for the club, scoring 37 goals. His quality on the ball combined with great work rate make him one of the most celebrated players in Swansea history. He left Swansea, though, for Everton in the summer of 2017. Leon Britton has made over 500 appearances for the club and has been a great servant throughout his career. Ivor Allchurch is one of the greatest players in club history. Allchurch remained with his hometown club despite having the talent to sign with teams in higher divisions. He made 445 appearances for Swansea and scored 166 goals. Alan Curtis is nicknamed Mr. Swansea City as he played at the club and has been involved with management or administration of Swansea for over 40 years. Curtis played 437 times for Swansea, scoring 123 goals. And one last interesting player to note here is Giorgio Canaglia. He got his professional start with Swansea but moved on shortly after. He went on to have a very successful career in Italy and the United States, earning 14 caps for the Italian national team and starring for the New York Cosmos in the old NASL. Swansea have had many managers in the club's history, but I'm going to highlight 3 of them here. John Toshak managed Swansea from 1978 to 1984. He was manager for the Swans' promotion campaign in the 1980-81 season that saw them enter the top flight for the first time in the club's history. Brendan Rodgers managed Swansea from 2010 to 2012. He made some excellent signings and implemented a tactical style that led Swansea back to promotion to the top flight. After sustaining Swansea in the Premier League, he moved to Liverpool and almost won the Premier League title in the 2013-2014 season before just falling short. He now manages Celtic, who dominate the Scottish Premier League. And finally, Michael Laudrup took over for the departed Brendan Rodgers in 2012. He was a former great player and led Swansea to their first and only major trophy, that 2013 League Cup that we already talked about. He was sacked in February 2014, but will live forever in Swansea's history books. Cardiff is by far Swansea's biggest and most fierce rival. The two cities are 40 miles apart and are Wales's 2 largest metropolitan areas. The rivalry really extends beyond just the sport, with many Welsh citizens feeling Cardiff gets preferential treatment and funding from the government, while other areas, including Swansea, don't enjoy quite the same benefits. The rivalry from a soccer perspective wasn't always as intense as it is today, but the hooliganism of the early 80s provided the spark between the fan bases to make this a full-blown rivalry. The two clubs have met many times across the divisions and cups of English soccer, and the animosity between the fans is felt by the players. That makes this one of the most intense rivalries in all of Britain. Cardiff hasn't been in the same division as Swansea for a few years. That hasn't really diminished the rivalry, but it has opened the opportunity for Swansea supporters to develop a new rival. Surprisingly, Stoke City can be considered one of Swansea's biggest current rivals. This is a rather recent development, as both clubs have enjoyed an extended run in the Premier League. There have been a handful of controversial incidents involving diving and hard-fought matches between the sides in recent seasons, and that has made Stoke into something of a rival for Swansea. The stats and records we're about to discuss are as of March 2018, which is when we are recording this video. The Swans have spent 9 seasons in the top flight in their history. The club's only major trophy is the 2013 League Cup, though Swansea do have 11 Welsh Cups. The club's record first-team league appearance holder is Wilfried Milne with 585 appearances. The club's record league goal scorer is Ivor Allchurch with 166 goals. The Swans' record transfer purchase was Andre Ayew from West Ham United on January 31st, 2018 for about £18 million. And the club's record transfer sale was Wilfried Boney to Manchester City on January 14th, 2015 for about £25 million. And 2 last interesting facts about the club. Swansea were the first Welsh side to play in Europe, qualifying for the European Cup Winners' Cup after winning the 1961 Welsh Cup. And the second fact, for those who don't know the story of Cyril the Swan, Swansea's notorious mascot, please read the article we'll link to in our video description from Howler Magazine. It is well worth your time. So, there you have it. A bit of history on Swansea City Association Football Club. Let's continue the discussion in the comment section below the video. Thanks for stopping by the Soccer Tavern. Hope to see you again soon. Cheers!